Welcome, this is Jeff Benedict at Evergreen Systems. Today we're going to look at how you can perform some of the common configuration adjustments to our Metro style CMS solution. What we'll cover here will be the creation of new ticket types to be displayed on the status screen. We'll adjust some of the common properties. We'll also extend the search to include additional data sources within ServiceNow. We'll also cover the navigation tile and alteration of those tiles, as well as we'll create new pages from a template. To get our update set into your environment, we would load the update set in the common ways of retrieving the update set, previewing it, and then ultimately committing it to your environment. After install, you'll have a new application menu enabled, the CMS portal, kind of with options to launch the portal as well as edit some of the common settings. So let's say you want to add a new record type of changes to this list and make it available to your status page. How would you do that? First, we'll add a new ticket type to our ticket types table. So we'll go to our ticket types table. We'll go to the types. We'll just use incidents as our template. We'll create one called change. Make this changes. I'll change the order to 300, and then we'll assign our default detail macro. Now the detail macro covers the information that will be displayed when the user expands the record on that status page. So now we have our new type. Let's also create a new ticket table definition for our change records. So we'll choose change request. I'll choose the requested by as our contact field. We'll leave show process flow checked. I'll turn off watch list, and then we'll assign this to our new changes type. And then we'll do a insert and stay on this record. And the last thing we'll do here is we'll generate our default field list, which is going to provide a list of labels for all of our tables. And this provides some abstraction across all these record types to have a common set of attributes or common set of labels with different fields that can be assigned to those in the back end. So I'll go ahead and assign fields to these, and then we'll take a look at our ticket table definition and type are now set up. So let's see what our status page looks like. So if I refresh this, now I've got a set of changes in our list of record types. As I select this, you'll see our change record shows up, and this is the that particular detailed macro is used to display this part of the record. And obviously I can go and adjust and create a specific macro for that particular record type if I desired. Also, it should be noted that these ticket types, the type definitions can be used across multiple different tables, which may be applicable for things like requests, where you might have multiple different types of records inside of ServiceNow that you want to represent as a collective whole of requests. On our search results screen, you'll see there are three sources kind of queried to match results. To extend this, we have to add records to our CMS search sources table. In this example, I'm going to add users as our list of tables to include in our search sources. So I'll choose users. I will assign a condition to this, which will filter the records that are searched. I'll assign a font awesome icon to this, which will give it a color. I'll make it the 400 order. I'll determine which fields I kind of want to show up in our list. The category field is a special field, and this will actually be tied to what field do I want to use as a refiner in filtering my particular records. And I'll save this. So now let's do a search. I'll do a search for username of Jeff. And notice now we have a record type of users showing up in our search results, as well as some refiners based off of that location. So I can, just to show you, I can filter these records and it'll show my two user records out here, which I can refine further from my location. Another thing you may wish to alter is the tiles that are displayed on this home page, and these tiles are stored in this navigation tiles table. So let's create a new tile, and we'll kind of assign that to the page and show you how that works. So let me go create one. I'll call it example as the name, and notice the name will be key because that's what we'll use to actually reference it. I'll just call it example tile. And on my type, I've got options for flip, basic, or hover. And so the flip is going to provide kind of a behavior of as I hover over it, it'll flip and show additional information. Maybe I want to call this health portal and give it an icon. Call this heartbeat. And our URL, just So that's one of our other references here. And maybe this is click here to access health portal. And I'll open this in a separate portal. Now the links here, I can also specify a content page, which would be one of our pages of our portal, or in this case I can reference any URL. The CSS class, the CSS hover class, is basically what style sheet class should I apply to the tile when it's kind of in a flat and non-hover state, and what color or kind of style should I apply to it when it's in a hover state. So this creates the tile. And the next thing we're going to do is assign this tile to the home page. So in our actual dynamic content block, EVG CMS home, what I'm going to do is replace our chat tile. If I do a find for that, I'll find my little chat tile. And these are all invoked by a UI macro. So I'm just going to change this name to example. I will save this. And now when I refresh my home page, we'll see our new example tile that flips. And as I go to click on it, it launches our destination portal in this case, which is another portal. On the property page, there are a number of properties for controlling the number of items displayed, the age of items to query, and I'll highlight some of the properties that control the news scroller that's on that home page. So currently we're set to go query knowledge articles with a topic of news on that page. So I'm just going to change this to general, and I'll change the cycle time, which is the switching time between the different slides, to 2 seconds instead of 8 seconds. So now as I save this, and I'll refresh our home page, you'll see now our news articles have changed to a different source. Now the actual image that's shown here is based off of an attribute or field on those knowledge articles. So just to give you an example, let's go to our HR overwhelmed article, and I'll assign a background image to this. And when I refresh it, you'll now see my background image just shows up. The last thing I want to cover is kind of creating a new page or a new kind of set of content that you want to display in the portal, and using our template to kind of start that or help that process. So I'm going to go create a new content block. I'll just call this EVG CMS history. I've already got some jelly code to kind of put in here, and this jelly code basically includes our breadcrumbs at the top, also as a title, includes a couple other UI macros for recent searches I've performed, as well as recent views of knowledge articles and recent views of service items. So I'll go save this item. And the other thing I can do is under our pages, there's a template page. So what I'll do is I'll copy this template page. I'm going to call this history. I'll give it a URL of history, and I'll also assign the titles here, and then I'll save this. And then I'll do an edit page, and then on my page I will add content. Notice my header and my footer are already on this template, so it's already just kind of keeping that consistent setup for me. And we called this history. I'm going to drop this into the body section. And now if I were to go to history.do, we've got our new page that shows our breadcrumbs, shows our recent history, our recently viewed articles, and our recent services. So I've got a new page that we've created. So that concludes what I hope to show you today. I do hope this was helpful, and I thank you very much.